Welcome to our deep dive into augmented and virtual reality.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. And, our listeners already know the basics, of course. AR, that overlays digital elements onto our world.
Right.
Like, the big one that hit everybody was Pokemon Go.
Yeah, big time.
And then VR immerses you completely in the digital space
Right.
with headsets like Oculus Quest.
Yeah, but we're going to go deeper
Yes, we are.
than just, those basic definitions.
Exactly. We're going to explore how these two technologies are really impacting different industries
Right.
and what the future holds for them.
Exactly. And I think they'll be surprised how quickly these impacts are already happening and changing.
Yeah, I think so too. So let's jump right in with the entertainment industry.
Great.
I mean, we've all seen how VR is revolutionizing gaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible.
VR games, it's not just about enhanced graphics or anything like that. It's about putting you like right in the heart of the action.
Yeah.
In a game like Half-Life, Alex, your hands actually become the tools that you use to interact with the virtual world.
Right.
It's really something else.
It's an amazing experience. And speaking of immersive, I mean, VR concerts are becoming more and more popular.
They are.
I mean, they're no longer about just passively watching a performance.
Right.
You can actually connect with other fans in the virtual space.
Yeah.
You can, participate in meet and greets.
Yeah.
And even influence the show in real time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really blurring the lines between audience and performer.
And that's a great example of how VR is really kind of creating these new ways to experience entertainment.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, with AR, we've seen how it can blend the digital and physical worlds in ways that are really engaging.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I mean, who could forget Pokemon Go?
I know, right?
It took the world by storm.
Absolutely.
But AR is also changing how we watch sports.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about seeing the game anymore.
Right.
It's about accessing real-time stats and information.
Yeah.
That actually enhances our understanding of the game.
Right, like imagine like watching a football game and seeing virtual first down lines projected onto the field like in real time.
Oh, wow.
It adds a whole new dimension to the viewing experience.
That's incredible.
It really changes things up.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. So AR and VR are definitely shaking things up in entertainment, but they're also having a significant impact beyond just entertainment.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's take a look at some real-world applications, starting with how AR is changing the retail landscape.
Okay.
Pretty amazing.
Well, with AR, consumers are offered a level of interactivity that just was unimaginable just a few years ago.
Right.
Imagine being able to try on clothes virtually
Oh, yeah.
without ever stepping foot in a dressing room.
I've seen ads for that, but I'm a little skeptical. Like, how does it actually work?
Well, apps like IKEA Place, they utilize like sophisticated 3D modeling and your smartphone's camera to realistically place virtual furniture in your home.
So it's not just a gimmick. That's impressive.
And it helps ensure that, the furniture fits your space and complements your decor.
I see.
You know?
That's really cool. And I read that beauty brands like Sephora are also using AR to let you try on makeup virtually.
Exactly. It's, it eliminates the guesswork from shopping,
Yeah.
which leads to more informed purchases and reduces returns.
Right.
It's a win-win for consumers and retailers.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears and talk about how AR is making its mark in education. It seems like it has the potential to really transform how we learn.
It really does. We've all had those experiences where textbook learning just falls flat.
Yeah.
AR has the potential to just make education so much more engaging and effective.
Right.
Just imagine pointing your phone at a page about the solar system and seeing the planets orbiting in 3D right in front of your eyes.
That would be amazing.
It's about bringing learning to life.
Yeah.
Making it more interactive.
That's incredible. And that could make, those complex scientific concepts so much easier to grasp.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just for kids,
Yeah.
right? I could see this being really helpful for adults, too.
Oh, absolutely. AR has applications across all levels of education and even professional training.
Yeah.
It just makes learning more engaging, accessible, and more effective.
Let's move on to healthcare. This is where AR is really making groundbreaking strides.
Mm-hmm.
I was really fascinated by the use of AR in surgery.
Well, AR is being used by surgeons during really complex procedures to visualize organs and bones in 3D.
Right.
It provides a level of detail and real-time information that just wasn't possible before.
Wow.
It allows them to see beyond the surface and operate with greater precision and confidence.
So it's not just about enhancing visuals, it's about improving patient outcomes.
Exactly. AR is transforming healthcare in just incredible ways.
Now let's dive into the world of virtual reality and explore its real-world applications.
Okay.
VR is really shining in training and simulation.
It's a game changer.
Is it ever?
Especially for industries where real-world practice can be dangerous or expensive.
Like flight training for pilots.
Precisely. They can train in these realistic virtual cockpits
Right.
and experience all sorts of flight scenarios and emergencies without ever leaving the ground.
It makes perfect sense.
Right.
You can simulate anything.
Yeah.
From routine takeoffs and landings to, extreme weather conditions, equipment malfunctions, all in a completely safe environment.
It's not just aviation.
No.
First responders, military personnel, even surgeons
Wow.
are using VR to practice complex procedures and emergency scenarios in these safe, controlled environments.
Right.
It helps them hone their decision-making skills and build confidence,
Yeah.
and ultimately be better prepared for real-world challenges.
So VR is preparing us for the unexpected, but it's also being used to address very real, present-day challenges,
Right.
particularly in healthcare.
Yeah.
One promising application of VR is in pain and anxiety management.
Mm.
I mean, imagine being able to immerse yourself in a calming virtual environment,
Right.
like a serene forest or a peaceful beach to help, manage chronic pain or reduce anxiety during medical procedures.
Right. It's these immersive experiences that distract patients from their discomfort and help them relax,
Yeah.
and create a more positive healthcare experience.
It seems like VR could also be a powerful tool for mental health therapy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
VR is being used to treat phobias by gradually exposing patients to their fears in a controlled virtual setting.
Oh, wow.
It lets therapists create personalized treatment plans and, help patients confront their anxieties in a really supportive and controlled environment.
So it's like facing your fears without actually having to face them.
Right.
In the real world, that's truly groundbreaking.
It really is. And the potential applications of VR in healthcare are just beginning to be explored.
Now let's shift gears and talk about how VR is transforming the way we work,
Okay.
especially in our increasingly remote world.
It's becoming more and more common.
It is.
VR offers the potential to just revolutionize remote collaboration. Instead of all those endless Zoom calls, imagine stepping into a virtual meeting room
Right.
where you can see and interact with your colleagues' avatars as if they were physically present.
It sounds like a much more engaging and immersive way to connect with colleagues,
It is.
regardless of location.
VR can foster a sense of presence and connection that goes beyond, traditional video conferencing.
Yeah.
It's not just about seeing each other. It's about feeling like you're actually in the same room.
It seems like VR could be the key to making remote work more collaborative and productive.
And many companies are already experimenting with it.
Oh, wow. That's great.
For meetings, brainstorming sessions, even team building activities.
We've explored some really exciting applications of AR and VR,
We have.
but it's important to acknowledge that both technologies face their own set of challenges and limitations.
Of course, every technology does.
Let's start with AR. One of the biggest hurdles seems to be the hardware. While we have AR apps on our smartphones, we're still waiting for those, sleek, affordable, high-quality AR glasses to become mainstream,
Right.
you know?
It's advancing, but mass adoption will likely depend on, overcoming those hardware limitations.
Another concern I've heard about with AR is privacy.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is.
As AR devices become more integrated into our lives,
Yeah.
they're going to collect vast amounts of data about our surroundings, our habits, even our physical movements.
Right.
And ensuring that user privacy is protected and that this data isn't misused is going to be really crucial.
Okay, now let's talk about the challenges facing VR.
Okay.
One that often comes up is accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
VR headsets can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
Not everyone can afford to buy the latest model.
Right. Affordability is certainly a factor, but there's also the issue of comfort.
Right.
Not everyone enjoys the VR experience.
You mean the motion sickness that some people experience?
Yes, VR can induce nausea and dizziness in some users, which is a major barrier to adoption.
Yeah.
So as the technology evolves, it needs to address this issue
Right.
to make VR accessible and enjoyable for a wider audience.
Another challenge I've read about is the difficulty of creating high-quality VR content.
Yeah,
It requires specialized expertise,
right.
resources, and time.
Developing immersive VR experiences is just much more complex than traditional media production.
Right.
And that complexity can really slow down the development and adoption of VR technologies.
So while the future of AR and VR is incredibly exciting,
It is.
there are definitely some bumps in the road to navigate.
But the advancements are truly remarkable. It's rapidly evolving, and I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Speaking of the future, that's what we'll delve into in our next segment.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll explore what lies ahead for AR and VR, from the development of new technologies to the potential impact on society, the economy, and our everyday lives.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of AR and VR.
Yeah, we've explored the amazing ways these technologies are being used, in entertainment, retail, education, healthcare, and even the workplace.
But now let's shift our focus to the future.
Okay.
What lies ahead for AR and VR?
I'm really intrigued by the development of AR glasses,
Yeah.
like Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
It seems like a major step toward making AR a more integral part of our daily lives.
Advancements in AR glasses are definitely a key driver of AR's future.
Yeah?
These devices aim to seamlessly integrate digital information into our physical world,
Right.
enhancing our perception and interaction with our surroundings.
Imagine a world where our glasses can instantly translate signs in foreign languages or
Wow.
provide us with, real-time directions projected right onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal digital assistant that augments our reality in real time.
That's the vision.
Yeah.
And as AR technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications, that enhance our productivity, efficiency, and overall quality of life.
Now let's talk about VR and the buzzword that everyone's talking about,
Oh, yeah.
the metaverse.
The metaverse.
It seems like a concept that's still shrouded in a bit of mystery.
It's a bit of a mystery, but essentially the metaverse is, it's a persistent shared virtual world where people can interact with each other and engage in a wide range of activities from work and education to entertainment and socializing.
So it's like stepping into a virtual universe that exists parallel to our own.
That's one way to think about it.
Okay.
It's a concept that's still in its early stages of development, but companies like Meta are investing heavily in building the infrastructure and experiences that will shape the metaverse.
What kind of technological infrastructure is needed to make the metaverse a reality?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, it seems like a pretty ambitious undertaking.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
The metaverse relies on a convergence of technologies, including high-speed internet, powerful computing, advanced 3D modeling, and even blockchain for digital ownership and transactions.
So it's not just about creating virtual worlds. It's about creating a whole new digital ecosystem.
Exactly. The metaverse is about creating a persistent, interconnected digital realm that can mirror and even extend the capabilities of the physical world.
It's a pretty mind-blowing concept.
It is.
While the metaverse holds immense potential, I think it's also important to consider the potential downsides of spending so much time in virtual worlds.
I agree. As with any transformative technology, it's important to consider the potential impact on individuals and society as a whole.
One concern I've heard is that excessive immersion in virtual worlds could lead to social isolation and a decline in real-world interactions.
It's a valid concern, as virtual experiences become more engaging and realistic.
Right.
It's crucial to maintain a healthy balance between our digital and physical lives.
It's about using these technologies to enhance our lives, not to replace real-world experiences and connections.
Exactly. And as these technologies continue to evolve, we need to have open and honest conversations about their potential impact on our mental and emotional well-being.
Another concern that often comes up is the potential for job displacement. As AR and VR become more sophisticated, will they automate tasks that are currently done by humans?
It's a question that we need to address proactively.
Yeah.
While AR and VR will undoubtedly create new job opportunities in fields like software development and content creation,
Right.
they could also lead to automation in certain industries.
So how do we prepare for this potential shift in the job market?
Education and retraining will be key. We need to equip workers with the skills they need to thrive in a future where AR and VR are commonplace. It's about adapting to the changing landscape and embracing lifelong learning.
Another area where we need to be mindful is data privacy.
Mm,
AR and VR devices collect a lot of information about our behaviors, preferences, and even our physical movements.
you're right. As these technologies become more integrated into our lives, it's crucial to establish clear guidelines and regulations to protect user privacy and prevent the misuse of this data.
So it's about striking a balance between innovation and protecting our fundamental rights.
Right. Precisely. And as we navigate these uncharted waters, it's important to remember that technology is a tool.
Mhm.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
It's up to us to shape the future we want to see.
Exactly. The future of AR and VR is not predetermined. It's a canvas that we are all painting together.
So let's pick up our brushes and create a future where these technologies are used responsibly, ethically, and for the betterment of humanity.
That's a future worth striving for now. Before we wrap up this deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned and consider the key takeaways for our listeners.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AR and VR.
It's been quite a journey, exploring the current and potential impacts of these rapidly developing technologies.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground from, those really cool practical applications
Right.
to the more, complex societal and ethical questions
Yeah.
that arise as these technologies become, more integrated into our lives.
Mhm. Right. And I think the key takeaway here is that AR and VR aren't just about, fancy gadgets or futuristic entertainment.
Right.
They're powerful tools that have the potential to fundamentally change how we live, work, learn, and even interact with the world around us.
Yeah, we've talked about how AR can enhance our perception of reality,
Mm-hmm.
providing us with, real-time information and immersive experiences, and how VR can transport us to entirely new worlds,
Yeah.
creating possibilities for everything from entertainment and education to therapy and remote collaboration.
And as we look to the future, the lines between the physical and digital realms are becoming increasingly blurred.
Right.
The metaverse, with its persistent and interconnected virtual spaces, represents a potential paradigm shift in how we interact with technology and with each other.
It's both exciting and a little daunting to think about the possibilities and challenges that lie ahead.
Absolutely. So, as we navigate this uncharted territory, what can our listeners do to prepare for and even help shape this future?
That's a great question. I mean, it seems like one of the most important things is to stay informed and engaged.
I completely agree. The world of AR and VR is constantly evolving, so it's crucial to stay up to date on the latest developments, research, and discussions surrounding these technologies.
Yeah, I mean, reading articles, listening to podcasts like this one,
Right.
participating in conversations about the implications of AR and VR can help us make, more informed decisions about how we interact with and even shape these technologies.
It's about becoming active participants in this technological revolution, not just passive consumers.
Right. And we've also talked about the importance of being mindful of the potential downsides of AR and VR.
Right. As with any powerful tool, it's crucial to use these technologies responsibly and ethically.
We need to be aware of the potential risks, like social isolation, privacy concerns, and the potential for misuse, and we need to have open and honest conversations about how to mitigate those risks.
It's about finding a balance, embracing the incredible potential of AR and VR, while also being mindful of the potential pitfalls and taking steps to ensure that these technologies are used for good.
I think it's also important to approach AR and VR with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to explore.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to try new things, experiment with different applications, and discover how these technologies can enhance your life, your work, and even your understanding of the world.
It's all about keeping an open mind, embracing the possibilities, and shaping a future where AR and VR are used to improve our lives and create a more connected, equitable, and informed society.
Well said. And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the fascinating world of augmented and virtual reality.
We hope this deep dive has provided you with valuable insights, sparked your curiosity, and left you with a sense of wonder about the possibilities that lie ahead.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. And remember, the future of AR and VR is not predetermined. It's a story that we are all writing together, so let's make it a good one.